Awesome Toad 21 here, and guess what? Apple is deciding to be let's eat your money instead of eating an apple. Let's check out the iPhone XS Max. Look at those prices there. $999 for the cheapest one, and for the most expensive one, you're paying over 1.3 grand. Now, what's even more crazy is these prices there for a monthly. Who would want to pay $56 a month for something that a Samsung can offer for only about 30 something a month? That Apple still has only 3 gigs of RAM in it, where Samsung has already moved on to 6. So there's a problem right there in my buying. And one of the worst parts of what I've seen is that the screen replacement, or the back replacement for the back panel, is a whopping $600. You could buy a brand new Samsung S9, or slightly used, with a whole lot more features and more stuff than the iPhone XS Max and the iPhone new XSs, for a lot less money. Now, I don't want to know what the screen replacement is at, but Apple is making it harder and harder for people to repair these phones, and just to make it look like you're getting more bucks worth. This is crazy. Yes, it's very capitalistic. I am a fan of capitalism. But why do people go to Apple when they charge this much when Samsung charges a lot less for a lot more stuff? Samsung's offer heart rate monitors, oxygen monitors, and fingerprint sensor, and yes, these Samsungs still have a headphone jack. The only thing you could do with an iPod or an iPhone right now is charge it up with a charger. So, is it really that worth amount of money when Apple can just throw a nice, when they've been really copying the same thing over and over again? And yes, you know that so-called sapphire screen that they have for the camera lens? Well, that's just tempered glass, and although they've been saying that since the iPhone 6. Now, Apple, honestly, you used to make good stuff. I was originally an Apple fan in about up until about 2011, and after that, this is the only iPhone I liked. Is the iPhone 4. It was the last Steve Jobs thing, and it actually looked nice, and no other Android could do that at the time. It had better specs than the Androids and stuff, but 2014 came around, 2013, Android caught up really quickly and surpassed it to the point that anything Android would be better. Any Android flagship would probably have better specs than any Apple of today. Just to show you what some of this X Max looks like. Just to show you what these look like. It's essentially a nice bezel-less screen, but wait, they claim it's bezels, but there's some bezels right there. You can't have a fully bezel-less phone unless there's glass covering the entire thing of the phone. So calling it bezel-less is just absurd. Like the S7 Edge has a good bezel-less screen, or at least looks bezel-less, but this just looks absurd. Now, the crazy thing about these is that they're pricey. They're pretty much the same-o, and really not much you can do elsewhere. But taking a look at these, honestly, I would never use one of these as my daily driver. They limit you to almost anything. I like Android's customization features and stuff like that. So that's my negativity rant on the iPhone X Max and the iPhone S. I can't even say it right now. iPhone XS is what they should have called it. But yeah, this thing is really just old through and on top of new. I just don't like it. It looks nice. I love how it looks. I love its design. But it's Apple, and they've really been cutting back on so much different things that to the point that $1,300 isn't worth it when that could happen to you. And you gotta buy a whole new phone for about the same amount of price, even with Apple Care. So Apple, I hate to say this, but you've definitely went downhill with this. It's a nice looking phone and all, but you just like people's money. Samsung likes people's money, but at least makes it cost effective to repair. Then you buy a new one 2 years later. This is Awesome Toad 21 here. Have a nice day. Subscribe to my channel, check out my Instagram, and goodbye.